How's everybody doing today? And in this video, we are going to be talking about a problem that a lot of players are about to have in regards to summoning for Aventurine or not, because in today's video, we are going to be going over the things that you should consider before you summon an Aventurine, because today we are going to be looking at every single banner that is surrounding him, whether it be the current banner, his rerun partner, or even the future banners coming in the next patches, even to the reruns that might come as well. There's just so many different things for so many different players that we have to talk about everything that we need to. Of course, talking about Aventurine's kit, what he does, how is he so good, and also talking about all the other characters that are surrounding him. So let's go ahead and start the video with talking about Aventurine. And as we may know, of course, if you haven't already, through the story, we are able to play him and figure out a lot of his different talents, his traits, his skills, all that different type of stuff. So that's really good to make our decision on how he's going to be and how strong he's going to be. But to give a quick synopsis on what Aventurine does, Aventurine actually is able to give shields when it comes to his skill, which is a very, very nice thing to have, because as we may know, the only people who are able to give shields, from as far as I can remember, because I may forget somebody, March is on skill but is single target. Fire MC gives it to the whole team with taunt, but the shield basically doesn't exist. And then Japard, he gives a shield out, which is a monumental amount, but you do have to wait for your ultimate to get it, and sometimes either you get CC'd, you get stunned, you get slowed, anything like that can really put a dent in his energy game, making it really hard to keep up your shield 100% of the time. But with Aventurine, you can think of him as a Luocha for shields, because in the way he works is that not only can he give you shields with his skill, but off field or off turn, as enemies hit your shield up until 7, you do a follow-up attack which does damage enemies, and then you get to reapply the shield. And also, since we did go against the story and got to play Aventurine, we also got to see how exactly this works, and you are able to get around 200% extra shield from what you would have gotten from your skill if it stacks currently with the talent, which is the, use your follow-up and then go ahead and get your shield back. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that comes with this, and you also get a couple of buffs as well when it comes to the multiple things that do happen with the shield, and also the ultimate that he has as well, because with this talent you are going to be getting at least 50% effectress at level 10, which is going to allow you to proc a lot of different things, not only almost having CC prevention depending on the amount of effectress you have on your character, but also guaranteed broken kill on every single character that runs it if you have Aventurine on the team. So there could be some really crazy builds which we could try, maybe, where you can have Aventurine with, of course, level 10 talent, and then you have 3 of your characters besides your DPS running broken kill, giving a full 30% extra crit damage to the whole team, which is absolutely insane, but we'll have to wait and see how that's going to work. But other than his talent giving you, of course, the effect res, his ultimate's also going to be applying a debuff, which of course is something that's going to be very, very strong for someone like Acheron or someone like Dr. Ratio, who really likes the debuffs happen on these characters. And his debuff is going to allow you to do more crit damage dealt based on, of course, however big your talent level is or your ultimate level is when it comes to the damage that he's doing as well. And you also get a random number of blind bet points, which is the follow-up counter that he has for his talent. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that comes with Aventurine, of course, being a limited sustain, which a lot of people are looking forward to. Now, after talking about Aventurine and what he basically does, he gives you that shield, he can reapply it off turn, and he also does damage as well. To the amount of damage that we know on a full invested build, we don't know 100%, so we'll have to wait on that. But we have a great synopsis on what he does. Really good shield, off-turn shielding, and also gives you a fat ton of effect res to be able to resist a certain amount of CCs and give you a higher chance of not having to get CC, which can play a really big part for a lot of different units, something like Jingliu or many other characters that don't want to be CC when it comes to their damage. It's just basically the whole board. So going ahead and talking about other things in regards to Aventurine, we gotta talk about the banners that are currently out that are going to affect his value slightly. And 100% there is one character in his role, honestly, that is a direct competition to him, but not really, and we're gonna get to that in a quick second. Of course, as we may know, for our current banner at the moment, we have Acheron, and Acheron, of course, isn't in the same role as him, but she is a character that a lot of people are looking forward to or still trying to figure out if they want to summon or not. If you haven't had the chance to summon on Acheron, I do say personally, if you don't have a second DPS or you don't even have your main DPS, Acheron is 100% worth it, 1000%. And with the amount of rewards we're getting throughout this patch when it comes to the new Penacani stuff and also the anniversary pulls and all the events that we have right now, you can 100% without a doubt probably get Acheron and also Aventurine if you were to Omega grind. Now, I know not everyone's going to be doing that, but Acheron really is a great investment. Not only is she absolutely busted, the #1 DPS for sure, she's also a really crazy quality of life character. But to go ahead and stop talking about Acheron, because I'm pretty sure we talked about her enough, we gotta talk about the elephant in the room, and that is Luocha. Now, Luocha is in a very scary predicament in regards to if you just summon for him or Aventurine. And me personally, there is only one reason, or maybe possibly even two, that you would even consider Luocha. One, you just really like the character. You like him because he's in Honkai Impact, or his, exported characters from Honkai Impact. And then other than that, the only other reason that is possible is you really want a character just auto. Like, this is the auto god for the most part. He is the character that will be a brain dead healer, and that is the definition of it. He keeps you healed, he sustains, your team will not die in any way, shape, or form. That is what Luocha does. So if you really just don't care, you just want to sustain to keep your team alive, he is very casual and beginner friendly for a lot of different players because he plays on autopilot. There's no thinking with Luocha. He skills by himself, because whenever a player gets low, he goes ahead and heals them. Whenever he gets 2 stacks of his Abyss Flower, he puts out a field, and then it heals everyone whenever they do their damage. Something similar of what Gallagher does as of right now. So Luocha is a really good sustain. Would I say to summon on him personally? No, because we do have multiple sustains right now that do provide a lot more utility than Luocha has. But for a very, very casual, very beginner player, Luocha might not be that bad to summon on. But personally, me, if you want to set you up for success in the future, if you want to have a really strong character, I would much prefer someone like Aventurine over Luocha, just because you do have characters like Xuan, who's absolutely god mode, can mitigate one-shots for sure, giving crit rate, CC prevention, all that different type of stuff. And then you also have someone like REHOO, who is a little bit more on the more sweaty side, or a little bit more on the offensive side of the sustains, where you're giving energy and attack, which is something really, really good for a multitude of teams, and she can basically be used for everyone. And then you have Aventurine, who I think is going to be a really nice universal option, being up there with Xuan and REHOO, since they all give different things. Xuan giving crit rate, with REHOO giving energy, and now with Aventurine giving crit damage dealt. There's just a lot of different things that come with these 3 characters, that they all are on their own specific niche that they can fulfill the team that they need to do. Now, talking about the characters that are alongside Aventurine, Jingliu, we know as well. As I said before, we are going to have a separate video for Jingliu in regards to is she worth it. One thing I can say about her right now and for this video for Aventurine, if you don't have a DPS, if you're not for some reason wanting Acheron, Jingliu would be the very next best thing, because she is just an absolute monster of a character. She self-fulfills a lot of the stuff in her kit and allows you to hold super hyper fixate on getting crit damage, because she gives herself so much crit rate. So that's just something you can play with. I will have my own video about Jingliu, so make sure to leave a sub, like, and all that type of stuff, and comment down below which character you're going to be getting out of all these banners I'm listing right now, because yes, it's a lot to talk about. But yes, we'll have its own video for Jingliu. But going into the next characters, and the thing that's a little bit scary, because right now we have Aventurine, we just have Luocha right now currently, and now we also have to talk about 2.2. If I'm not wrong, this is 2.2. This should be 2.2, which is Robin, which is a Harmony character coming out, and also Boothill, who's going to be a Hunt DPS. Now, the one thing that is nice about being on the second half, which Aventurine and Jingliu are going to be on, is that they can wait for 2 things to come out. Not only can you wait for Robin and Boothill's kit details to come out from the stream, because we will get the stream before these characters end up leaving. So if you are not sure at all if you want to summon on Aventurine or Jingliu, then you can 100% wait for the stream, see if you like Robin, if you need a support character, see if you need Boothill, if you like the way he plays, and then you can make your decision there, which I will of course be making another video similar to this when it comes to Robin, talking about Aventurine, Jingliu, all that type of stuff. So make sure to stay tuned for that. But other than knowing Boothill and also Robin in their kit details, we also get the drip market for 2.3, which we have zero idea at the current moment who it's exactly going to be. And with it being maybe another sustain, maybe being another DPS, maybe being another Harmony for some reason, because they've really been spamming it, there's just a lot of different situations that they can come out with the drip market for 2.3, which we are allowed to look at before these characters end up leaving. And then the last thing we need to talk about is the reruns that could potentially happen, because of course with every character that does come out, there is going to be a rerun alongside them, unless they change it up for some reason, but most likely that's not going to happen. The only reruns left are the characters before 1.6 realistically, and I would even say 1.6 might be cutting it a little too close, to be honest. So the characters that have a rerun since 1.6 are Xuan, Topaz, and then we have Argenti and REHOO. 1.6 is Ruan main Doctor ratio, but I really do think it is going to be a little too close for them to come back, because if I'm not wrong, I did check Blade and I also checked Celeb for how long they took to come back, and the very minimum rerun a month in the between, or the gaps, which is around 4 patches worth of characters to come out for a character to rerun, which I think Blade had the shortest time coming back, but I could be wrong. It was either Celeb or Blade, and it was 4 months in between. So we would have to wait a couple patches for these other characters like Ruan Mei to come out. But we do have Ho-Ho, Argenti, and then also Topaz and Fu Xuan. Now, of course, if we're going in chronological order, which they don't 100% have to because they have broken that rule, but if we do go chronologically ordered, we can see that possibly Fu Xuan and Topaz come out, and those two characters in their own right are worth summoning on as well, because they both fulfill very important roles on the team, with it being Fu Xuan having the direct competition with Aventurine, because they both do similar to the same amount of thing, whether they give you sustaining, which is their main job, but they do provide different resources. While Fu Xuan gives crit rate and CC prevention, Aventurine gives effect crits and crit damage dealt. So you can see that they're at direct competition with each other, and we will be making videos comparing the two, all that type of stuff, when we get a little bit closer to Aventurine's release, which is going to be super exciting. But other than that, Fu Xuan's going to be there, and then most likely Topaz, who of course has their own niche in supporting the follow-up role, and can 100% see a lot more value with Aventurine coming out, because as you may know, if his follow-up attacks hits everyone on the field, that gives a chance for Numbi to come out and then do his damage, then Ratio does his damage, then Aventurine does his damage, Numbi, Ratio, Numbi, you know, there's a bunch of really crazy combos that can come from this, which is super exciting. I cannot wait to see what Aventurine is going to bring to the follow-up attack team, of course being a sustain that can do damage and get follow-up attacks, allowing Numbi to go an infinite amount of times as the combo lets them. So this is going to be very exciting to see whatever we can do with Topaz and Numbi, which of course I'll be making a video on. But other than that, that's going to be it. There's just a lot of stuff with Aventurine that is surrounding him that he's in direct competition for, whether it be Luocha in the current half of the patch up until possibly even Fu Xuan in the next patch, with Robin being in front of him, with Jingliu being his partner in the banner. There's just a lot of things when it comes to Aventurine and his worth for all these characters around him. They all excel in their own way, and of course I have to make an entire video for Jingliu herself when it comes to if you should summon for her or not. So if you're excited for that, make sure to stay tuned, make sure to leave a sub, like, comment, all that different type of stuff. Make sure to join the Discord down in the description, and also follow me at twitch.tv/REHOO, because this is where we can talk about all this different kind of stuff, and you can always ask me questions there. So other than that, thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end. See y'all in the next one, and peace.